Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shubham and you're watching Analyst Mind today. So in today's video, we are going to do a data analysis project. So this project will be a combination of data engineering and data analytics both. So nowadays you just don't need to know how to use a dashboard or how to clean a data, but you should also know how to build a pipeline and do the analytical works and take out the insights. So as this field is evolving, I thought like this project will help you guys to build mindset like how data world is getting transformed, and that's why I implemented this project. So I will tell you everything in this project: how to download the data, how to build a pipeline end to end, how to get your insights. So this type of projects are mostly asked in the interviews. They might give you a timeline of 5 hours maybe, or 2 hours maybe. Okay. So in this timeline, you have to build the end-to-end projects and you have to showcase your end results, maybe in the form of dashboards or in the form of data. So this project is going to be a same kind of so whatever the data you guys will be needing, I will put a link in the description of a Google Drive. You can just open them and you can download that full project. Also, I will try to push this into GitHub, and I also will tell you how you guys can showcase this as your own project in your interviews. And without wasting time, we'll start the video. Hey guys, welcome back again. So we'll start the video. So in the description, you will find one Google Drive link. I want you guys to open that link and just open this particular documents, Google Doc, and it will take you to this particular file. So this is a document which is explaining what we have to do and why we have to do. Okay. So I'll just read it out shortly. Build a real-world analytical solution to track and analyze student reading performance. Okay. Focus on data modeling, pipeline building, and generating actionable insights. So this is our overview. So we have given a problem statement over here. So to develop a student performance tracking system for schools, monitor student fluency performance, and stakeholders analyze trends across school. So we have two problem statements. We have to build a tracking system for school to monitor their student fluency performance. Okay. And we have second problem statement for the stakeholders. We have to analyze trends across schools. So one is for individual schools. We have to build a tracking system, and for the stakeholders, in that all the schools will be listed down. Okay. School wise reports basically. So system should process daily data, auto update records, generate insights. So we have already provided the data in the JSON format. If you go over here, we have a JSON format, three datas. Okay. So I have three particular datas. We have to use Python, PostgreSQL, and we'll also write Google GCP. Okay. And data descriptions, we have Excel format. In that Excel format, we have form responses, which we have three Excels basically: school registration, tracker format, final reports, templates. So if you go in this particular folder, you will find Excel over here, which is a Google Sheet, and in this we have three tables. Okay. So first table is my form responses. So whenever a school is filling a form, this form is getting updated. So this is basically a Google form which they're filling up. Okay. So we have a tracker format, and okay. So just a minute, guys. So this is basically a school wise report format, which is over here, and I'll just change this. So this is a school wise report format which you then, and I will just update this in a bit. Okay. So sorry for that. We also had a tracker format in which we have school ID, school name, total students. So we have to build this data set first of all, and we want also a school wise report. Okay. So one will be a school ID, school name wise report, and one will be a grade wise report. Okay, so these are two outputs which we will be needing basically. And our task is first to set up a data set, then view the data ingestion, then transformation, the modeling, tracking, reports, automation. Okay, so this is our tasks, okay, which we are going to do. Key metrics, I will explain this while doing the projects, business questions. Okay, so first of all, let's go to flow diagram and understand the pipeline. Okay, so first process, we will try to extract the data. So we have particular student details, student performance input, and student performance metrics, and form responses. So we have total 4 tables basically which we need to import. Okay, then we need to do some data transformations. We'll see if data cleaning is necessary, and if we have to do in data ingestion also. So if you see data JSON, and we have a XLX form response, but rather than using an XLX file, which is a downloaded one, we will try to connect directly to a Google Sheet where my live data of form responses is coming. So I don't need to always download the data and feed it to my ETL system, right? So I will try to change this process and make it automated also. Rather than using an XLS file, we can directly use a Google Sheet for that. So once this transformation is done, we'll also load all this details into SQL database. So for this, we will be using a PostgreSQL server, and how to download this I will just let you know in a bit. And then we also need to analyze the reports. So whatever the transformation and data cleaning will be doing, and we'll be dumping all the data or the reports into a new Excel file, in which we'll get the summary in this format. Okay, so this is our end goal basically. If you want, guys, you can also showcase this in your in Power BI. You can use this data to showcase in your Power BI, connect to a Power BI server or Looker Studio, whatever you feels good. Okay, so once this is done, our project will be ending, and this all process will make it in such a way, like whenever you run a particular file, this automation automatically runs. Okay, so yeah, without wasting time, we'll start the video now. And first up, we'll be downloading PostgreSQL server. So to download a PostgreSQL server, what you have to do is just write PostgreSQL download and click the first link, which is www.postgresql.org. In this, you just need to select your windows, and also once you selected the window, you have to click here, download the installer. Okay, required only, and here they're asking which version you want. You have Linux, Mac OS, Windows, so I will just select the latest version which is needed. So once this is done, your downloading will be started. Just save it somewhere, let it download. So once your file is downloaded, just open the installation setup file, and we'll start with the installation process. It might take a few minutes to get installed if you're installing it first time. So right now what I have done is I have installed the PostgreSQL from my computer, and I'm doing a new cleanup, new setup basically, and so you guys don't miss out any details which I'm doing while setting up. Okay, so I'll just pause the video over here and let it install, and we'll get back in a few minutes. So once installation is done, you'll find this kind of pop-up window. You just have to untick this and just finish. Okay, make sure you untick and then finish. So let's open our pgadmin and start our project. So if you see, our first thing is what we have to do is you have to load all this tables, right? So if we go to our documents, it's stated there, first of all, we have to set up a database. So right now we are in the process of setting up the database. So let's wait for the pgadmin to start. So once your processes pgadmin is installed, you have to open it and go into this particular window, PSQL tool workspace. You have to set up a server over here. I'm just writing a password, keeping it default as 1 2 3 4. Okay, and just connect. Okay, now once this is done, go to your defaults workspace over here. First thing is we have to create a database. Now if you see over here, we have to set up a database. So I'll just right click over here, create database, and I will give a name as maybe analyst mind and just save this. Okay, this will create me a new database, and then we can start our first process, which is creating us tables. Okay, so just right click over here. Once my database is created, I just have to right click, go to query tool, and so first step will be creating a table in this database. So I'm going to just write the SQL create statement table. So it will be create table. I will just rename the table as student details, maybe. The table if not like this. Details, and this will give our the column names. Now before doing this, I will suggest just to download this file first, because we have to also set up a project side by side. So just download this file, and we're also going to work on our Visual Studio. We'll set up the environment also side by side while working. Okay, my file is downloaded. Just now what we'll do, just extract this file. So I will extract this file into a particular folder, and that folder will be my project folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my folder. Hang on guys, it's getting a hang. So I'll just put it in maybe a SSD, and then create a folder in the YouTube. Okay, I'll just hit OK, and it will extract all the contents in that particular folder. Now open your Visual Studio Code and create an open folder. Click on open folder, and here we'll go to on SSD, then YouTube, then Analyst Mind, and this over here. Select a folder. Now, before creating a table, it's very important to know how my input data set looks like. Okay, so that what I'm doing over here. I just wanted to view how my student detail JSON folder looks like. So I'm just going to click on JSON details, and this will open my JSON file over here. Now see, I have ID, name, contact number, email ID, school ID, and grade. Now what I'll do, just copy this content and go into my PostgreSQL and maybe paste it just for reference purpose. Now see, I have ID. So ID looks like a text in a text format, right? So what I will do, I'll just write ID text, and this will be my primary key. Okay, then I have name. Okay, so I will write name as student, maybe name, or name, will use the same table name, that will be fine. Name as text again, so this will be fine. Contact number, I'll just copy paste this content over here. Contact number again, this will be a varchar 15 characters maybe. Then we have email ID. This will be again also in text format. Then school ID, which will be again text. Then we have grade, which will be again text. So once this is done, sure I've done everything right. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just hit this particular execute statement, and it will return successfully. Okay, so let's see if our table is created or not. Just run this again. The query is loading, it's taking too much time. It might happen. Okay, so if you see, we have created a table and we also have a column names inserted. Now first process was to take out this data and insert it into a DB. That was our first process, right? If you go into over here, see, first process was to extract the data from the data source. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to work with student details files now. Student details files, we need to create one folder Python, because we are going to use the Python. I'm just going to right click, may call it etl.py. Okay, this will create me a etl file right now. So we need to install some libraries, and that's what we are going to do is import our psycho G2, just psyco pg2. Let's hang on a minute, guys. It's Python extension is loading, that's why it's taking time. before doing this, let's go to terminal and try installing, doing a pip install SYCOPG. Let's wait for some time because I don't know why my computer is getting very slow these days. Okay, so our requirements already satisfied, so I don't need to reinstall it. So if in your case, guys, this particular library might not be installed in your system, so just pre-install it. Once this is done, I will also import JSON. Okay, so let's see if my JSON is installed. JSON and gspread. Also, I need to install Google. Oh, okay, we'll just install gspread and see what happens next. So what we are doing right now is we are setting up an environment and no matching found JSON. So okay, okay, so my JSON, it might be a default one, so I'm just going to import gspread. And I'm so going to, so now don't worry about this. So my JSON is already installed in the system, and my gspread is also installed. So like just that gspread, let's see what it gives me. Okay, so you have to write pip install gspread and then it will install. Okay, so once this is done, my next process is to define a connection. Basically, now connection define connection means you need something to talk to your PostgreSQL, right? So that's what we are gonna do now. We are writing def, and I'm going to do it, rename as a get connection. Okay, and just remove this thing again. And once this is done, I'll write return psycop2 c.connect. Then we'll db name. So db name will be the name which we have just given to our database. I'll just go here, this analyst mind. So I'll just write analyst mind over there. Mind. Once the name is given, we have to go user. So user is Postgres user. Password is, if you guys remember, we gave a password 1234. That is my password. And then we have to go host, which is localhost, and last one is port. So port is 5432. And this is how my connection is done. Okay, So I'll just explain you guys what we have done is, if you go over here, while setting up a server, we are only defining the server name, which was PostgreSQL, PostgreSQL. Then we have port, which we have defined. We have defined username and database. So, and then we have defined a password. So all this thing we have defined over here. Now let's try getting connection. So okay, let's try running only the connection and see what happens. Host. Let's try running it again. Okay, let's redefine our server. So server name PostgreSQL, Postgres, the database is Analyst Mind. Okay, here we made a mistake. Click on Analyst Mind. Oh, it's not getting clicked. Okay, user is Postgres, password is 1234. I'm keeping role as default, but I'm not clicking on a role. So let's try connecting again. 5432 port. Let's close this one. And now let's try rerunning this thing. Okay, it's saying the user issue. Let's go back. We have user Postgres again. Okay, so what issue was, we had a capital U over there, that's why it was not taking. So like just write print and get connection and see if that works. Okay, so if you get something like this object 00 dash, okay, that means your connection is working. And yeah, some debugging is required because this is first time connecting to the DB. And when this step is done, now we are going to go to our next step, which is loading a data. So what we are going to do, we are going to pick this JSON file, which we are located over in this our particular folder, and we are going to put this data into our PostgreSQL table, which we have just created. Okay, so I'll just write def load student details. Okay, so I'll just write connection is equal to get connection, and I don't need all this stuff right now. And my cursor is equal to cursor, and with open, and we need to give a path. So I'll just write copy relative path, paste it over here. Okay, maybe a full path will give copy path ETL, paste a full path, put a string, and I'm also going to use R, so use R. Okay. So once we open the folder, just write data is equal to JSON load F for students and data cursors, insert into students detail, student ID. Now here what we are going to do, we are just going to here we are going to use exactly the naming which we have used while creating a table. Okay, so let's go back to here. We have used ID name contact now, so we are going to keep it as it is. So which will be ID name, what was it again? I'll just grab this thing, put it over here. ID name contact number, after that email ID, we have school ID, and we have grade. So this is all the, so what we are doing is in the connection we are basically calling this function, okay, and renaming it as con. Okay, cursor, so think of a cursor is like a vehicle, okay, which transport your data from here to there, from A point to B point. Okay, with open is basically we are telling it to open the particular file which is student details. Okay, and as F we are renaming it as F. Okay, now I'm defining a data which is data is equal to JSON.load. So we have loaded a JSON over here, so we are just putting it over here. Okay, and when this is done, for each file for students in data, so for each row, basically each this particular JSON file dictionary data, we are defining to execute this particular statements. So what is this statement? Cursor that execute insert into students. This is my all the columns which I have, and also we have to give values. Just write comma over here. This value, just not comma over here, just write values, and in values I will just write %s comma %s, and I'll just write conflict ID, do nothing. When this is done, once this is done, I have to just give comma it and row get ID, row dot get name, row dot get number, row dot email ID, which we have school ID, and grade. Okay, so once this is done, we'll close this packet permanently, which we opened over here. Okay, once this is closed, I'll write commit, cursor close, con dot also exit, connection dot close. And after this is done, I will write print data loaded successfully into student details tables. And now let me just go through all this tape. Okay, let's try running this particular function and see if how that works. Okay, we might get any errors, which we are getting right now. Saying row.get. Okay, insert into, we gave a table name wrong, which is student details. Student details, and maybe we'll run it again now. Okay, that is successful. So we got a successful prompt, print statements. Now we'll just run this in our PostgreSQL. And if you see, we have loaded our data successfully. That means our first step, which is of getting a student details table, loading a student details table, which is completed. And now next step is a performance input. So what I will do, I will just again write create table, if not exist, performance input. Again, same process we have to do. We have to check what contents we have in a JSON table for performance input. Okay, so we have this particular values. What I'll do, I'll just go back and paste it over. Okay, so we have ID. Now let me just check if we are going on the right track. Okay, so performance input. Now this table have ID, child ID, school ID, submitted at status. Now if you see, ID is basically a student is performing or attending, right, particular test. So what I will do, I'll rename ID as maybe attempt ID, and this will be my text again, primary underscore key, primary key, sorry. Then we have child ID, which is again text. Then we have school ID. I will write it as it is, it's text. Again, submitted at, maybe this will be a timestamp, and status as text. Okay, so let's try running this particular SQL query and see if our table gets created or not. So primary key, I messed up on spelling. Okay, query loaded successfully. Let's try running this particular query and see if table is created. Okay, we have a table created. Now same thing which we did before, we are going to write a statement again. Sorry, f load what was the table name? Performance input. Okay, again same thing which we did before. We are going to create a connection first. Get underscore connection, basically just write copy paste this over here. Then we are also adding a cursor, just write curr. Once the cursor is getting, we have to load the data. With open performance input, copy path, just write to R, as F, JSON that load F for row and data, CR that execute, insert into performance input, which is correct. And we have this much. So we have ID, then we have child ID, then we have school ID, they are submitted at, and we have status. So we have this many things in our. So if you see, it's giving me a prompt. I will just accept it and see values on conflict ID, do nothing, rows.get. Okay, now only the thing is of closing the connection. Connection.commit, curr.close, connection.close. Okay, once this is done, I need to write print statement. Data loaded successfully. I'll just copy paste this connection over here. Let's see if my data is getting loaded or not. So what I'm doing over here, I'm calling the this particular function. We have some issues again. Insert into perform, into table ID. On conflict, do nothing. Okay, so ID table we have renamed is at attempt ID. So I forgot to do this, which created that issue. Now, okay, again, one more thing with those. Just rename it, run it again and see if that works. So this project is going to be a little bit lengthy, guys, but I wanted to make a full video so you guys can work along with me with the data. Again, I wanted to change this both things. Okay, as you see, data load is successful in performance input table. So let's go back and run this particular query, and we have successfully loaded it. Nice. So our two data sets are loaded successfully. Now we have another table, which is again, let me check it. We have performance metrics table, right? So just open that table. Just give me a minute. Okay. Again, performance metrics. I'll just copy this contents to my PostgreSQL. Okay. Just write create table if not exists. Table name will be, I will just copy the table name from the task. This will be the table name, brackets. Now renaming the column metric ID. Okay, so the ID over here, I'm just renaming it as metric ID. Metric ID, which will be my text again, primary key. Okay, then we have input ID, text, process state, process date will be a date format. Then we have WPM, which will be a float. WPCM, these are all metrics, guys, basically. Float, pronunciation, again we have float, fluency, float, then we have noise, which is again float. Okay, this way, just run this. I will also write the select star wala thing, and will run both the things at once. Okay, just run this. Okay, we'll read one by one. Okay, so we have created a performance metric tables. Let me just drink a water. Okay, now table is created. Let's go back to our Visual Studio. Write def load performance metrics. Okay, again same thing, connection is equal to, we'll just copy the get connection. Then we have cursor, get on dot cursor with open, just rename this control V. When this is done, data is equal to JSON dot loadf. Now for row in data, again again. So insert into performance metrics, which is my table name, which is correct. This time we'll try to not to make a mistake. Just write metric ID. Then we have input ID, process state, WPM. Then we have WCPM, comma WCPM. We have pronunciation, fluency, which is over here, and we have noise. Okay, these are my table names basically, which we have created, and close the bracket. Okay, now same thing we'll do over here. Just delete this thing. Okay, metric ID was basically ID, and I didn't change anything else, right? So once this is done, on that coming, cut that close, and we'll also close connection. We'll write print load data successfully. Cursor. Okay, I hope we are good to go. Okay, let's try loading it. Indentation does not match. Okay, maybe indentation is not matching. Okay, let's fix this and we'll do one by one. Okay, it's the issue with all the data. Okay, let me just quickly fix this up. Okay, now let's try running it. Okay, cursor is already closed. So let's put it outside. Now it should work. Okay, I haven't specified a print statement over here. Okay, but data might be loaded, so I'll just run this again and sec. Okay, see, so we have loaded the data successfully. Now the three processes are done over here, and we are going back to another process, which is data ingestion. This is done. This is done. Now if you see over here, we also have where it is in this project, we have a form responses over here. Okay, so what I wanted is I wanted this form responses also to get uploaded in my process. Okay, so this is optional part, guys. If you want, you can do it. You can download this XLX file and then use the same method to import it. Okay, but I'm trying to automate this process, so I'll use a Google Sheet. I will use a GCP and create a service account basically, and using that service account will load this will read this file directly. So first of all, create a table. So we'll create table not exist. So table name will give as form responses. Okay, and write form submission date, which is timestamp. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just quickly see. I'll just copy paste these things. Okay, after form submission date, we have school ID. School ID will be my text. After that, I have school name. School name will also be text. We have city. It will be text again. We have state. Text again. Contact number. Email ID, number of students. So I'll just write text, comma, text, comma, number of students. Number of students will be okay. So this is how we created a table. We don't have a primary key in this. Just let's write primary key as my school ID. Create a table. Table is created. Now I'll write select statement and see if my data is loaded or not. Select star from responses. Okay, table is created. Now the actual part starts, which is connecting and using our GCP in this basically. So most of you may be confused why we're not using GCP yet. So now we are going to use it. Okay. So first of all, open your GCP account and then go to I am admin, service accounts. Once you are into service account, you need to create a service key. I'll just delete this particular old keys now. Basically, these are service account, not keys. I'm sorry. Okay. Just refresh. Okay. So I need this. We'll just create a new service account. Service account name will be school project. Okay. Okay, so my service account is created. Now you just have to give you just have to create a key first. So go to key, put an add key, create a new key, JSON, create. So once the key will be created, you just have to drag this key, go to your VS Code, drop it over here. Okay, so this is your basically a key. Okay, the key is created, go to again permissions, manage access, add rule. So I will write data rules are not needed yet, so we will require API access key. So we'll write drive. We'll activate our API, which is drive. Okay, so this is already active. Let's go back. If it's not active, you guys need to activate. And then we also have spreadsheet. Google Sheet API. Okay, these two APIs which we need to activate. Okay, this is also activated in my account. So if it's not activated in your account, you need to activate it first. So once this is done, what you have to do is you just have to copy this particular email ID, go to your this particular sheet, Google Sheet, share your email ID with this. Okay, and send it. Make sure you have to keep it an editor. Now what we have done is we have created one Google service account. We have given this particular sheet access to that account. Okay, and while using a Google Sheet, we have to make because Google Sheet is stored in your Google Drive. That's why we are giving Google Drive API access and Google Sheet access. Okay, so we are enabling this this both access. Now next part comes its next part is our loading a data into this data. Okay, so write diff load from responses. Okay, I'll write load from responses. Let's not use this. Okay, now I will write GC, which will be my GSpread. GSpread service account. File name will be this one. Okay, this is correct. And just remove this. sh is equal to gc dot open by key, and here we'll need to give a key of service account, sorry, a Google Sheet which we are using right now. So Google Sheet, we are using this, and the key is basically from here to here. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is my open by key worksheet. Worksheet name will be form responses 1. Let me just see. Okay, just rename this to a form responses. Okay, and when this is done, process of worksheet.get all records. Then for row in data, blah blah blah, that is correct. Now again, same thing. You have to use the similar names, so I'm just copying this data. Connection that commit. Okay, connection that close, cursor that close, print that all successful. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, form submission date, this is over here, and the table name first of all was form responses. So I'll just write form responses. Okay, then we have school ID, then we have school name, okay, so let me just verify if I've done it right. Form the submission, then we have school ID, then we have school name, then we have city, state, contact number, email ID, number of students, and I think we are good to go. Values 1, we have how many tables? 1 columns, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 columns we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. On conflict attempt ID, no, we have school ID, so on conflict school ID, do nothing, blah blah blah. This is done, and let's try running this. Okay, okay, we are connecting it first time, so file name encoding. Okay, my file name is basically this, copy path, this. Okay, let's run it again and check what we are getting. Okay, so that is successful. So we have loaded the data from Google Sheet to our PostgreSQL server. So if I run this, okay, so we are good to go. Great. So first part of our data offloading is completed. Now let's go to our second step. Okay guys, so we'll go to our next step, which is transformation, modeling the data. Okay, so if you see in this particular sheets, we have to create the school-wise reports and grade-wise reports. Okay, you guys can also create the tracker format if you guys need it, but I will tell you how to do this school-wise reports and grade-wise report. The tracker format I want you to learn it. It's the same process, only you have to modify the SQL query and you will be good to go. Okay, so if you go to our sheet over here, sorry, in the drive, we have two SQL queries written over here. Okay, one is school report and another one is school-wise report. Okay, school-wise report. So let me just remove this. Okay, we have two queries over here basically. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll just copy this, go to our SQL workbench. Now I might need to change the column names and also the table names, because this table names over here in this query are different, but you guys don't worry, I will modify it. Performance input is my CMF input, metrics is CMF metrics, response is my responses. Then okay, let me try running this. Okay, student ID is ID in my case. Let me check once. Okay, let me complete this query first of all, and then I will explain what's happening on this. Student ID, CI is my performance input. CI is my performance input. Child ID. And we have input ID, attempt ID. Okay, great. See, so what this query is doing, I will just explain you in short. We have a table over here, which is school. We want I'm going to create a report in this format, basically a school ID, school name, total students, registered users, CM submitted. Okay, so this query exactly doing the same thing. If you see, we are getting school ID, school name, registered user, count, CMF. So count listing of ci.attempt ID. Attempt ID is basically how many students are attempting. Okay, that is counting over here. I'll just write this as registered users, and then we have what? Registered user, CMF submitted. CMF submitted. Okay, and CMF. CMF underscore submitted. Okay, so I have school ID. Okay, so registered users are coming from my form responses table. CMF submitted is coming from how many students have attempted, basically. Then we have successful. So in my performance metric tables only, if you see, we have a status column in this performance input table. Sorry, in performance input tables, if we go, we have a status column in which we have process and another variable, which let me just check once. Distinct status. We have process and unprocessed. Oh, okay, we have process and fail, basically two options in this tables. Okay, so if you're wondering why I've used CI that process, that because I wanted to only count the processed results which are successful. Okay, so what is it is doing? It counting case ID. So it's counting the attempt ID basically when my CI status is process. So that's how it's giving me successful. Now for this average, I can even just skip quickly round it to 2 decimals. That will be a good if let me run this. Okay, so what's happening here is no function matches the given name and a given type. You might need to add explicit typecast. So I will just cast this to numeric, and then see if that works. Numeric. Okay. This should work. Let's remove this. Okay, so bracket should be over here, not there. This bracket is closing. Yeah. Let's try now. It should work. Yeah. So if you know, we have defined this as a float value. So it was not taking. So let me copy this and paste it over here. Copy this and paste it over here. Okay. Let's see if it's working. Okay. So this is how we are completed with our first report, which is school-wise report. Now comes the part of, I'll just replace this query and put it over there. Just copy, Control C, Control V, and I'll just copy paste this one, grade wise report. Oops, sorry. And grade wise report should go here. Again, same keys. See, I just need to change the column, sorry, the table names. So inputs, then matrix. It's not ID, is child ID. Then attempt ID is equal to. Let me just try running this and see if it's working. Without student ID is my ID. So what is I student performance input? In performance input, we have child ID. I'm sorry guys, I'm not able to explain this while fixing the query. Okay, now you can do it. Okay, so we were asked to develop a report summary grade wise of combining of all the schools. Okay, so we have total this much registered users. Okay, now registered users count is greater than CMF submitted. So registered user basically number of students, not the rather number of students, attempt ID, and we'll just copy paste this particular thing. No, number of students is correct, which is my registered users. I don't need count for this. Let's try running it. Number of students, inform responses we have. Why it's not taking? If we see FR, form responses is not taken in this. So we need to just copy this. Now let's try running this. School ID, ST, school ID. So it will be S, not ST. Okay, so it's giving me grade wise, but it's not giving me overall. So number of students, it will be a sum of number of students, and need to remove this, and let's try running it again. Okay, so if you see number of students, we don't have student-wise data in my form responses. I only have a total count of students which are there in the schools. Okay, now we want registered users. So registered users. Okay, we don't need us. Okay, we are going in the wrong direction, and I think the first attempt was right. That's why. And this was correct one. Okay, I'm sorry. Student IC. So in this case, I is my CMF input, performance input. Okay, now it's going right. Because we are saying a registered users and grade wise registered users are my 268. After that, submitted are this many. So this submitted count is higher just because one student is submitting multiple times. Okay, so that's why this count is higher. And CMF submitted is basically the processed one, the successful one. So this is how you can do it. Other way around, you can do it using creating a view, basically creating a view and ranking the performance input and picking only the the latest entry which is having a process. So this is also one thing which you guys can try out and do this table. Okay, I'm so sorry for this. It took much more time in this. So I'll just copy this and paste it over here. Okay, now this is done. Let's go back to our Visual Studio Code. Okay, now we are at reporting. So let's create a new file and name it as .py. Here also we are going to import the same libraries which we used. Okay, again same thing, connection. Okay, so same thing I'm using. Now what we have to do is the Google Docs files which we just created, we are going to work with it. We just want to copy that file, Control C, go back to here and paste it over here. Okay, so what that is, I just copy pasted the queries, and now what I want to do is just reading the data from the database to data frame. As report, pd.readsql, school reports, con connection, SQL server, which is connect, connection.close. Converting to string. So why we are converting to string? Whenever we copy pasting data from DB and pasting it into Google Sheet, there are some constraints which because of data types in Google Sheets, which will lead to an issue, because if your data type doesn't match exactly to the data type of the data. So if you are importing putting a data into a data which is in text format in Google Sheet, or column which is in text format in Google Sheet, this will create an issue. So that's why we are converting first that data into text string. Okay, here what I did is I just define a variable school df school wise report, and then I'm just writing pd.read SQL query. School wise report is basically this query is going over here, and connection. So I'm calling the connection over here, and that's why I'm closing the connection over here. Okay, now we'll also go to Google Sheet setup. Google Sheet setup. So we need to define scope. Scope and credentials. Again, credentials, I will copy paste this thing. Okay. Before entering any data, we'll just clear the sheet, and okay, first we need to create a Google Sheet. So what I'm going to do is I will create new sheets in my particular Google Drive. I'll just write result or something. I'll just rename it as result or something. Okay, results table, and again we need to share this with your GCP account, service account. Share and send. Okay, so the sheet name I'm renaming it as school wise report. Now the thing starts. Just to open the Google Sheet. Oh, sorry. Client is open the Google Sheet and select worksheet. So sheet is equal to client open by, I will write open by key I don't need URL, and the key will be this one, and worksheet will be worksheet name, basically school wise report, and my sheet is selected. I can directly write WS rather than writing a sheet. Sorry. So once this is done, I'll just write WS dot clear WS dot clear, and then update the worksheet with the new data. So WS dot update So what we are defining here, I am only collecting columns from this particular data and then putting it into a list, and then I'm only picking the values and then converting them into to list, and then it's basically doing this, and then it is updating a data directly in a Google Sheet. So let me just try this once if this is working or not. So I should get data in my Google Sheet, current Google Sheet. Okay, it hasn't defined PD. It's taking much time, and yeah, it's working. Let's see if it gives me, it prints this particular line. Yeah, so we have successfully uploaded. Let's see. Yeah, we have the data over here. Now it's time for our grade-wise report. So same thing we'll do over here. We'll start for did the worksheet, did the grade-wise report. So WS GRE grade is equal to grade-wise report then WS that clear sheet, and yeah, now I should get all the data in my Google Sheet. So what I'm doing is I'm just maybe deleting this much data. Now whenever I am running the query, running this particular Python file, I should get data updated in the both sheet now. Now let's see if it's working or not. So first of all, the data should get deleted automatically, worksheet should get clear, and then worksheet should get updated automatically. So this thing should happen, and we are good to go with our project. only some last steps are remaining, and I will tell you how you can automate this using a one file. Okay. Okay, you see our data is updated, and here also. So this is how you can automate your things in your company. And what you just have to do is maybe orchestrate this process using Airflow, and maybe run it manually in at particular time. So now comes to our last part, which is putting this into one single file, which is main.py. So I'll just write import from ETL import load students data, load performance input. Let me see just if this are right spelling or not. Sorry. They are correct spelling, I hope so. So let's write diff So what we'll do, we'll just write print statements over here. Okay, so now we are almost done with our project. Okay, so if we go to our this particular system, we are right now at this process because which is uploading the reports. We have done all these things, and yeah, we missed out this particular data cleaning step, but if you see, there was no needed for data cleaning because we have directly used SQL, and in that only we have transformed all the data according to our needs, right? So it's up to you. You can use directly do the data cleaning in Python also, but I prefer doing it in SQL. It's pretty much faster. And once this done, report is done. Now I'm not going to tell how to do the Power BI Locus Studio yet in this project because it will take a lot of time. I will want, like, you guys can just go and explore this particular area. So now we are at automation part. Scheduling will not do in this particular project, but yeah, you are open to do it using a GitHub or GitLab. Okay, so yeah, so we'll just go to this over here. Now what will happen if I'm going to run this main.py? I don't need to run my ETL.py separately, reporting that py separately. All these things will be done using this particular query, using this particular Python script. Now, if this is working correctly, yes or not, let's cross our fingers and see if our pipeline is working correctly or not. For this to work, we'll just make sure our results table. We are removing this data. Okay. So if my pipeline runs successfully, what it will happen, first of all, it will load etl.py. It will load performance input from this Then it will load performance metrics from this JSON. Then it will load student details also, and then also form responses, which is like loading from our Google Sheet. Then it will run reporting.py, in which we are going querying the data from directly our SQL server, Postgres server, and then dumping this data into a Google Sheet. And that's how our ETL pipeline is automated successfully. So let me run this and see if it's working or not. So see, we have successfully done almost. Yeah. Let's do the GitHub part also. Okay. Yeah. So if I go over here, my reports are already generated. So I'm just logging into my GitHub. Just give me a minute, guys. Okay. So I'm logging into my GitHub and we'll start the process of pushing our pipeline to GitHub. Where am I? Yeah. So first step, what you have to write, and just clear this out. Okay, so now we can start pushing this to GitHub. First thing is, you will not require this particular file. I need to delete this from this. Move to recycle bin. Okay. Now, once this is done, step 1 is to add a new file, which is .get ignore, and for a few files which we need to ignore. So I'm just copy pasting this. Okay. After that, you have to run some commands, which is first one is git.init. We are initializing the git in this repository. Then git add. So we are adding the files. Then we are to commit this. Once this is done, git commit, initial commit, and then we'll give a connect to my, so basically this is my git remote, and then the URL of our git repository which we just created. So I just created this repository and just copied this particular link and pasted it over here. Okay, and after that I just need to push my code. So I just write git that branch.main and then git push f origin main. This will push my git code to GitHub. Now there are many different things. Let's say you have to run this every day using a GitHub, but your server, which is your computer, maybe our Postgres servers, which is in computer, which will not let you run the query because we are connecting it using a PostgreSQL connector, right? So what will happen even if you try to automate this thing in the cloud, there is a different way to do that. Now we have done till this over here. Okay, let's push this and it should update my GitHub account. See, so everything is done and we are good to go. So guys, I hope you love this video. It's a pretty long video, I know, but I can see the excitement in your faces. Yes, you have done something really good. You have made a pipeline with many different things to learn, and I hope you like this video. If there are any doubts, any issues you're facing while connecting or doing this project, just let me know. And if you're doing something new and you want to showcase me, please post this on LinkedIn, and then maybe just tag me. I will just review your project out. Okay, and if still needed, you can post your GitHub links in the comment section. I will just review it. And yeah, thank God we did it. And thank you everyone. Please like, subscribe the channel. See you in another video. Till then, bye bye, good night, have a nice day.